Education funding and affordable housing have become the first major policy priorities in the legislature this year. Both are often left to local officials, but state leaders are now taking a stronger hand, saying they want more equity across the state. Connecticut has some of the Northeast's nicest homes, but also a worsening homeless crisis at its peak. The state also has some of the best schools in the nation and some of the worst.
That's not good enough for us. That's not good enough for the taxpayers to spend these dollars.
So Democratic leaders say if we're going to spend on schools, let's make it count. The problem is they won't know federal funding levels until closer to the end of session in June. With President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration just days away, they tell us they're actually preparing for cuts from Capitol Hill.
The federal government may be targeting federal Title I, Title II, and Title III funds. That's a gap that we have to fill.
So more might need to come from state funds. Democrats may be willing to flex those fiscal guardrails in this case. Republicans say don't touch them. Either way, once they know how much money is available, both parties agree on where the funds should be focused. Special ed.
The biggest driver of municipal budgets is the Board of Ed budget. And the biggest driver of Board of Education budgets is special education.
That's why leaders aren't separating education costs and housing in these discussions. The more federal and state money put towards special education, the less stress on your local taxes, meaning your property taxes could go down. People even admit to moving around the state for the best special ed services.
Housing goes directly with education, because there's something that's said about this state. You can determine what kind of education you're going to get based on where you live, on your zip code.
The lack of housing is holding our economy back.
Part of what's held lawmakers back from taking bigger swings at housing supply is the state's fear of getting over-involved with local zoning. But not this year. Democrats are proposing more incentives and mandates from the top.
Suburban and rural towns in many cases have been resistant to that and have not been willing to accept the responsibility of being one single state of Connecticut in terms of a mix of housing.